We all hear that decluttering can help make your house feel calmer and obviously less cluttered. But you might be wondering, where do you start? Well, in today's video, I'm going to give you 5 really quick areas that you can declutter your home in just a few minutes. So let's check it out. Hey, I'm Lindsay with Organized to Save, and I'm here to teach you how you can become organized and be productive with budget-friendly hacks so you can declutter and simplify. So today, let's go ahead and start in the kitchen. If you are a hot beverage lover, you probably have an overabundance of these guys right here, coffee mugs. Even if you don't enjoy a good cup of joe, they seem to multiply quickly. Recently, I went through and decluttered a ton of my coffee mugs, and I actually gave you guys a behind the scenes over on my Instagram, which if you're not already following me, make sure to go check it out because I give you a ton of behind the scenes clips and extra tips. But I went through all of my coffee mugs, and the key was that 1, make sure that you have a central location to store all of your coffee mugs in, and just keep the ones that you know you will actually use. So I went through and decluttered a ton of our mugs that were cracked or I knew that we had not used in forever. But if you are one that does not drink coffee on the daily, you may even consider ditching those mugs altogether. But the key is to have a central location where they're all stored and to only keep what will fit in that location. The same time that I decluttered all of our mugs, I actually tackled our glassware as well. We had a ridiculous amount of glassware that we probably had not used in years. A lot of it were things that we got at our wedding, which was like 9 years ago. So for us to not use them more than maybe once or twice in 9 years, it was time for us to say goodbye. So I went through and decluttered the entire cupboard that all of our glassware was stored in, and I pretty much cut it in half. Now, you may be thinking that clothes would be an obvious area that we need to declutter, but that is obviously a huge project to tackle. And today I just want to give you some really quick things that you can tackle in a few minutes. But if you do need to declutter your closet and want to get some extra inspiration, check out one of my recent videos of where I did an extreme declutter on my closet. I will leave that linked down below. Let's go ahead and chat shoes. In our house, we have 2 different spots where we store our shoes. We store them back by our garage door. We also have occasional shoes that we store up in our front mud entry closet. Now, recently our shoe zones were becoming a bit chaotic, and it was time for me to tackle them and start to weed out shoes that we no longer use. So the shoe zone by our garage door is our primary spot where we put all of our shoes because that's where we enter the house. So I actually wanted to switch it up a little bit, and I moved around our bins, but basically all 3 of us, my daughter, my husband, and myself, have a shoe bin where all of our shoes go that we wear on the daily. And I wanted to move Ellie's basket down so that way she could access it a little bit easier. And so that meant that I needed to move my husband's basket. But it actually worked out in my favor because then I was able to file our shoes in all of our baskets, because before, my husband's shoes in his basket were just stacked on top of each other because in the bottom shelf that they were previously, they were too tall when I filed them. So now I just moved the basket over on the side of the shelf, and it's much easier for him to be able to put his shoes away when he comes in the door. When you stack them on top of each other, if you want the shoe on the bottom, you have to take all the other ones out. So I talk about filing your stuff all the time, and it's just a game changer as far as being able to easily access what you need. Same thing in our front entry closet as well, and I went ahead and took all of them out, which is also key that you need to remove everything completely from the space. But then I went through and found a ton of shoes that I was no longer wearing. I went ahead and filed them back in the bench, and now it's super easy to find what we are looking for. Now, with entertainment, there's several forms of entertainment that you may actually not be using anymore in your house. And one of the obvious are movies. Nowadays, there's so many different ways that we can stream movies. It's very unlikely for us to pull out a DVD, let alone a VHS tape. I went ahead and went through all of our old movies and got rid of a ton of them that I knew we were not going to need anymore. Along with the movies, you might think about getting rid of any old electronics that you have lying around. We had a pair of speakers that my husband had from who knows when that were hidden on the floor behind our entertainment unit. So I went ahead with his permission and we went ahead and decluttered those speakers. So go through your house, see if there's any old electronics that you just have lying around that could be decluttered. And another thing that I went ahead and decluttered were my old magazines. I love a good Real Simple magazine, but I had magazines from years ago that were literally just collecting dust on my shelf. So I actually went ahead and decluttered all of my old magazines. Yes, all of them. Now on my bookshelf, I have that entire shelf clear where I can have a basket with my daughter's toys. If you're looking for more tips on how to declutter, go ahead and check out the video on your screen right now, as it's going to show you how I extremely decluttered my closet. And make sure that you're subscribed so that way next week you don't miss my next 5 decluttering tips. We'll see you in the video.